This world is a culturally diverse place. As you move across the globe, cultures of humans inhabiting the part of the world you're visiting change. Sometimes, this change is so evident that if we call it a phase change, we might not be wrong. Some countries are highly particular about the things they want their visitors to abide by, so it's highly recommended that you, as a tourist, should try to learn about the culture of your destination, because knowledge of common norms and regulations will not only make your trip more enjoyable, but also more secure. We at 10 Town are the ones you look forward to for your daily dose of celebrity news and entertainment. And keeping that in mind, today we're here with the 10 things you cannot do in North Korea. Before moving further, make sure that you've already subscribed to our channel and that the bell icon is pressed. So now, without further ado, let us dig right into our list. Number 10. Blue Denim. North Korea is a mythical country, which means that, due to the lack of information, they potentially make a lot of myths, and then they start following them blindly. One example is blue denim. Anywhere in the world apart from North Korea, if you can afford jeans, you can wear them. And that's because denim jeans were invented by Jacob Davis and Levi Strauss in 1873 and are considered to be a symbol of capitalist America and world imperialism. Luckily so, you can still wear black denim because only blue jeans are prohibited. However, if you're a tourist, nobody will say a word to you, but you'll have to change when visiting the Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il Memorial. Number 9. Don't call it North Korea. Every patriotic nation tries to call out the name of its country in the most respectable manner possible. The same is the case with North Korea, as tourists who visit North Korea should refer to the country as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or the DPRK. North Koreans prefer that you call their country by its official title, as this shows that you acknowledge the country's view of itself as the superior and legitimate Korean government. Surrounded by deep valleys and mountainous terrain, DPRK is one of the most isolated and notoriously secretive countries in the world. It welcomes only several thousand visitors each year. Number 8. Don't criticize. $1 million advice for anyone who's about to visit the DPRK is to try and avoid criticizing the country, its leaders, or its citizens, because people of DPRK don't like to be questioned about literally anything. Questioning the government or giving any negative remark about the ruling family will be interpreted as a sign of disrespect. Let us emphasize one thing, and that thing is, in the DPRK, you must avoid joking about anything that is about national legacy, because any jokes or insults about North Korean leadership might end up getting you charged with treason. Visitors are generally expected to show the same reverence to the national legacy as the locals generally do. Also, we suggest that you shouldn't take selfies while making the peace sign in front of any monument, and never in the DPRK must you ever fold a newspaper with the face of Kim Jong-un on it. Number 7. Don't carry banned items into the country. Authorities of every country prohibit entry of some item that they believe is harmful for their nation, and the same is the case with the DPRK, as tourists are not allowed to bring certain items into the country, and these items include standalone GPS devices, memory cards with pornographic content, drones, magazines, newspapers, religious texts, and lastly any print or digital resources about North Korea or South Korea. Take note that if you do bring your mobile phone, you cannot make any international calls in North Korea because of their policies. Authorities generally take strict actions against people who bring into DPRK one of the priorly mentioned items. So we suggest you not to fiddle with your amazing trip and try to respect laws as much as possible. Number 6. Do not expect to travel independently. For any kind of visit, North Korea requires that you join a government-sanctioned tour, where you are accompanied by a guide at all times. All these tours are heavily monitored, and you will not be permitted to wander off and explore sites on your own. All of your interactions with civilians, if any, will always be shadowed by your guide. Highlights of a guided tour will take you to the northern side of the demilitarized zone, which is generally referred to as the DMZ, as well as state-approved locations such as the Tower of Juche and Kim Il-sung Square. Bowing is mandatory when you're in front of the statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Otherwise, you take a huge risk of offending your guides. Going against the established rules in a tour can put your and your guide's life in grave danger. If you're caught doing something illegal, your guide may be accused of being a co-conspirator by helping you spy on the country. For this act of treason, he or she will be imprisoned. Therefore, if you find the restriction of movement in a pre-planned tour suffocating or troublesome, you may want to visit another destination instead of North Korea. Before moving further, we've got a little challenge for you. Let's see how many of you have what it takes to smash that like button. That's not even prohibited in North Korea. Getting back to our list. Number 5. Don't take photographs or selfies. Much of what goes on inside of North Korea is veiled in secrecy, and this can be felt in the country's severe restrictions on photography. Note that you must ask your guide for permission before taking any photo. Capturing unauthorized photographs of military officers, airports, construction sites, and government buildings, or simply any place that is not declared a tourism site, will be considered an act of reconnaissance, and that might even get you banned from the country. Additionally, you cannot take photographs that depict the country in an unfavorable light. The DPRK doesn't want any imagery portraying its civilians in varying states of homelessness, malnourishment, or poverty. Number 4. No internet or inter-device connectivity. Yes, they do have computers and internet in North Korea, although it's not quite the internet. Rather, it's more of an intranet called Kwangmyong. The number of accessible sites on Kwangmyong is estimated to be around 1,000 to 5,500. All the international websites are banned, and if you're not a high ranker, you'll never be allowed to visit them. The local operating system Red Star, in its latest version, reminds one of Mac OS X. They say it was done due to Kim Jong-un's fondness for Apple products. As for Wi-Fi, it simply doesn't exist. Mobile devices don't even have access to Kwangmyong. Chinese tablets produced for North Korea don't have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth modules. They're just not needed. Number 3. Don't mention or practice your religion. It is of high risk to practice or even talk about the religion you believe in the DPRK. We suggest you take a lot of care of such matter and try not to speak about any religious beliefs. And no matter what on earth happens, just don't try to demonstrate your faith by handing out religious materials to anyone in the DPRK. Christianity, for example, is prohibited to the point where being caught with a Bible means that you will face imprisonment, torture, or execution. By contrast, past and current leaders are elevated to godlike status in North Korea. Number 2. Entry limits. Some nationalities are not even permitted entry to North Korea. South Koreans are not permitted entry, and there have been reports of difficulties regarding Israeli, American, British, and Japanese nationals. However, in January of 2010, North Korea lifted the restrictions on American citizens who are now free to visit at any time of the year. If you're a U.S. passport holder, be aware you must have special validation to travel to North Korea from the Department of State. A specialist North Korean travel agency can help you sort out all the complex and ever-changing regulations. Number 1. Don't travel to North Korea with your family. While this precautionary measure might sound ominous, it's better to be safe than sorry. First up, breaking the rules in the DPRK can get you detained in the country, imprisoned without due process, or worse. There will be no second chances for tourists once a rule has been broken. If you plan to sneak illegal photographs or engage with the locals about politics, it might be better for you to stay home. For reasons you can probably guess, an infamous law called the Three Generations Rule was established in 1972 by Kim Il-sung. It directs that any serious crime will punish not only the perpetrator, but 3 generations of their family as well. This is meant to dissuade possible defectors from acting out against the government, unless they're okay with putting members of their immediate family at risk. So guys, that was our list of 10 things you should not do in North Korea. Do let us know which one you've fantasized about the most. If you guys like our content, do give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace!